Hey, it's Christopher from the new Media Expo here in Las Vegas, and I'm here with probably the rock star of wine blogging, Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary, how are you?
Probably. I'm tremendous.
Probably. Great to see you here. So let's jump into some of the questions right away. How did you get involved in using social media to kind of spread the word of what you're doing in the wine industry?
You know, I'm the kind of guy that likes to pay attention. So, I read the news and watch and current events, pop culture. And in '05, I started seeing the web fundamentally change, and it started becoming a lot more social. And so for me, that was interesting. I really like people. And so I kind of missed the whole blogging thing because my writing skills are kind of meh. But video started happening with YouTube, and I'm like, wait a minute, I like the camera. I can get cozy with this thing. And so that seemed like something I could leverage and get involved with, and that's what basically I did. So wait a minute, Zay Frank and Amanda Condon, after doing homework, realized they had two good shows, Rocket Boom and the Zay Frank, the show. I said, you know what, this is something I can do, and I can do it for wine because I love wine, and wine needs this. We need to bring more peeps into the game. I saw this as the future. I'm good at looking at trends in wine. In the mid-90s, I got into Spanish and Australian wines. So I'm a little bit of a trend guy. I can do that stuff too. And so leveraging those two thoughts, I basically decided to start Wine Library TV in early '06.
So there's been a lot of people, the purists, the more traditionalists, who are kind of taken aback by working the sniffy sniff and bringing the thunder and all the vernacular that you've brought into the industry.
Right.
What do you think about that? I mean, they got to loosen up from my perspective.
I respect that. People want to take pride in their craft, and sometimes I think when they get silly down in their minds, I'm disrespecting it or they don't like it as much. I'm not quite sure. Ultimately, I'm very respectful. Those are mainly my people, right? I was in that industry for 10 years. I'm still in that industry. So the people that don't like it or talk back behind my back and hate it and all that stuff, I wish I could spend more time with them and explain to them what I'm doing. I think the industry as a whole, in 5 years, when they wake up and realize I single-handedly, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I single-handedly created a crap load of new wine drinkers. 6 people just came up to me after my keynote speech at a technology event and say, I drink wine because of you. Ultimately, that's gonna help everybody in our space. So I think maybe in the beginning I was like a little bit of a bad guy. I think people are starting to understand it even a little bit more now. And I think 3 or 4 years from now, the industry as a whole is gonna be like, you know what? You did good, kid. And I'm looking forward to that coronation.
So in the current issue of Fast Company magazine, Scoble has an article in there that says that he loves you because you're the hardest working man in the business. You travel all over, what are you, about 50 flights now for this year?
56.
So how do you stay organized while you're doing all of this stuff?
I don't. I embrace the chaos. I'm sure there's a lot, oh, I whistle too. I'm sure there's a lot of things I've missed out on because of my chaos, seeing certain things that could have led to things. It's gonna happen. I mean, you can't, weed through 1,000 emails a day and all the stuff that's going on Facebook and Twitter, but you do the best you can. I do work my face off. I'm constantly on 4 hours sleep. Yesterday, for example, I woke up at 5 in the morning, flew to Boston, took a social media bus from Boston to New York, ran to a meeting, then went back to JFK, flew out here in Vegas, did email the whole flight, did 400 or 500 email, landed, got to my room, email sent out, did a little bit more email, a little Twitter action, a little promotion about my keynote, slept for 4 hours, came out here and killed it on my keynote. That's what I do.
And that's what he does. From Las Vegas, the new Media Expo, we're here with Gary V, and I'm Christopher with Relevantly Speaking.